Hi guys, it's me, and welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, then welcome. In this video, I'm going to be talking to you guys about how to become a witch. Now, I think it is fair to say everybody has their own way on how to becoming a witch. These are just my recommendations to get you started on this path. I think it's really important for us to, pretty much like define what a witch is, considering we're going to be talking about how to become a witch. Now, depending on who it is that you're going to be asking, they may, for the most part will, but they may give you a totally different definition of what a witch is. Now, if they understand it in a more metaphorical way, they might give you an answer somewhere along the lines of, a witch is someone who is like liberated and basically unapologetic for who and what society wants them to be. You may recognize them as feminists, be it male, female, doesn't matter. Someone who is a part of the LGBTQ plus community. It literally anyone that does not fit into that little box that society wants everybody to be a part of. If they were to understand it in a more literal sense, they will straight out tell you, a witch is literally just someone who practices witchcraft, the craft of the witch. Now, depending on their like religious beliefs or whatever, they may add a few other things like they're evil, blah, blah, blah. You and I both know that's a bullshit. That's just utter bullshit. Just like how there are, good Christians, there's also the opposite. That applies literally to anything in life. So with that being said, that is a witch. A witch is literally someone who practices witchcraft, therefore the craft of the witch. The first thing that I recommend is for you to get a book. A book. Any book. Absolutely any book. It can be, for example, this little bad boy. It can be, I don't know, man, this bad boy. It can be, mira, you don't even gotta get a book, bestie. You can literally get just a piece of paper, literally. If you want to do it on your computer, that's okay. Personally, I recommend that you don't do it on your computer if you're starting out, unless you are in the broom closet, in which that case I suggest that you use your computer. If you wanna keep everything in a pen drive, do that. You can use Notion as well, Google Drive. If you were to put everything in your computer like I did, that's okay. But I think that you would have a better chance maybe having everything in pen and paper, because of the fact that I think having something physical will motivate you even more to actually, continue your research or whatever. In my case, it was kind of the opposite. I actually started doing it on my computer while we were post Maria, the hurricane that fucked up the island. Puerto Rico, by the way, island y'all. That's how I started, and yeah, that's pretty much where I have been. It's been a while, and this is what I'm gonna look. Okay, so this is like the cover page. This is, I don't know, like a random. Oh, funny thing. So, as an offering to Ekate, I pretty much made her like a whole entry thing in my Biblia Sacra and stuff, But essentially, yeah, this is, I started out with one of them, and one thing led to another, and I just started using it on my computer. I started developing it on my computer, but basically, what I'm trying to say is that if you do it on your computer, it's okay. But I feel like overall doing it like physically, it's gonna like be a better push. However, not everybody is the same. If you want to do it on your computer, that's okay. But if you don't have a computer and you want to do it in a more traditional way, then by all means, bestie, do a book. And if you do not have a book and you do not, have a printer, you just have a page, do a page. Like literally do this. Get a random page, start writing your notes, keep it. Then have another page, keep writing on that one, and continue growing the amount of pages up until, you have enough to maybe compile a whole little book with a binder. The book itself doesn't really have to be expensive at all, bro. Like literally, I have this, but remember, this is recent and had already had you know, the files like prepaid. Like I still have stuff that I have to put here, but I want to edit them. My point is that it doesn't have to be expensive. You can have an expensive book if you want to, but I don't recommend it, literally because of the fact that if you have an expensive book, for the most part, trust me, you will not want to mess it up, and you want to be able to not be afraid of messing it up. If all else fails, bro, trust me, you can just rip the page, and if you don't want to rip the page, that's okay. You know what, just like, I don't know, you know, X that shit real good, and that's it. And if you don't want to do that, that's okay. Literally get a new book, you know what I mean? Something is only as sacred as you make it to be, you know? I want to show you the book with which I actually started. Like this is the book from when, bestie, this is literally the book, and I've mentioned it quite a few times, from when I was going through my TV Hollywood witch era. If you're starting out, it can be a notebook like this. After you have that, after you have that book, that is the book that is going to be recognized as a book of shadows, a grimoire, in my case, Biblia Sacra, or you know, you fill in the name there, right? Now, I want you to begin writing these questions somewhere in the book, for the most part, maybe in the first page-ish, sort of, maybe the last, it doesn't matter. But just write it in the book. I want you to ask these questions, right? Why do you want to become a witch? What do you think makes someone a witch? And what do they do, and how does that look like to you? Now, this questions refer to, like, okay, they do witchcraft. How does witchcraft look like to you? Basically that, you know, does it involve candles? Do they say words? Do the words make sense? Is it in another language? Is it in your, that kind of question. Third one is, do you believe in magic? Now, if you do, how does that look like to you? How does it work? Do you believe that magic is like the performance kind? Is it like witchcraft? What skills do you want to develop, and why? Which skill do you want to begin with, and why? Now, but these ones are pretty much like, let's say, palmistry, tarot reading, any of the clairvoyances, spell crafting, you know, creating rituals, creating like basically what skills do you want to develop and why? Now, I don't want you to worry too much about whether or not these answers that you're going to be giving are right or wrong. Like, just don't care. The point is for you to actually answer honestly with the knowledge that you have right now. You don't have to look it up. If you don't have anything, make it up. You know, again, it's about what you think. It's about what comes to mind. These questions are for you from the future, so that future you can actually go back to those questions, reflect on the fact that you have grown, you've learned, you've acquired new information, and the beliefs that you had at the beginning of your path, you know, in the beginning of your craft, have completely changed. If I could do something in the past, it would literally be this. After that, in your book, I want you to start looking for information that okay, so personally, I'm one that believes that the information that you're going to be looking for, it should be anything that you are interested in, literally. But if you need more of an instructional guidance, then I got you, baby. Okay, so that'll be, I recommend that you research the Wheel of the Year, the Sabbats, SBATs, what they are, how you can celebrate them, what they mean, and so on and so forth. Now, I will flat out give myself self-promo because, you know, of course, nobody doing it for me, gotta do it myself. So with that being said, I do have 2 videos talking about the Wheel of the Year. So like, if you're interested in that, you know, you can go watch them, you know, like, well, we already knew that, I bet, right? Because we're that connected. You know, you studying the Wheel of the Year will essentially be really enriching for you, because you will have stuff to do as the wheel turns. as the years go by. You know, you will learn how to practice it, how to get more in tune with nature, how to follow the cycles, and all of that good stuff. So even though you are studying the wheel, you will also be celebrating them based on the information that you will be acquiring. I highly suggest that you also, maybe even after, doesn't really matter, also add to your book, your notes, you know, the moon phases, the magical properties of them, and all of that good stuff. How to celebrate espats, you know, that kind of stuff. I highly suggest go to the kitchen, get herbs, spice. When it comes to spices, but when it comes to spices, I recommend that you get the ones that are like singular, like plain. Get, I don't know, an egg, milk, water, whatever. Get a minimum of maybe like 3. If you think that's too much, get 2. If you're overwhelmed, get only 1. It doesn't really matter. Just get something from your kitchen. Now, in that book that you have, in the place that you're going to be recording the information, I want you to write the name of the thing that you had or have in the kitchen. And after you have identified the thing that you have, I want you to look up its magical properties. You will do this with everything that you have in the kitchen. You're gonna associate that herb or whatever you found in the kitchen with magical properties. I want you to do this literally with essential oil, any essential oil that you have, or oils in general. I want you to also do this with crystals. I want you to do this with literally anything that you think that you can use in your own magical practice. And I want you to know, my guys, you can literally use, for the most part, anything. The limitation is only placed by you and how, you know, creative your mind can be, literally. After that, my guys, I want you to pretty much look up how to enchant items, how to enchant herbs, tools, charge your crystals, activate whatever. Learn how to imbue, you know, the tools that you have with your energy, you know, with your intent. By now, you have already learned that you do not need ylang ylang, oil, whatever, belladonna root, or whatever, dragon's blood. Those are the ones that are coming to mind, you know, wolf's bane. I can't think of anything else, but essentially you don't necessarily need them to do your magic, literally. Trust me, you've just learned that you can work with what you have. And when you're in a pinch, bestie, that rosemary is gonna hella substitute the cinnamon. Now, mind you, people use those specific tools for a reason, right? But when you don't have something, you want to substitute it. You know, it's not gonna stop you from actually doing your thing. Don't get me wrong, if you actually want to go the extra mile and get the stuff that you want in order to do what you wanted to do that, but you don't need it, you know? But by now, you've learned how to, you know, enchant stuff as well. And so with that, you already know literally how to practically do magic. You have the stuff already. You have the knowledge on how to give it a purpose, how to give it energy. After that, you're pretty much going to learn with the herbs. You can either put them in a candle, you know, dressing the candle. In that case, you would need oil to like make it stick, but regardless. You can also maybe even have a candle wherever, here in the, I don't know, just an example, or like, you know, here, wherever that, you know, you're able to have a candle, and then maybe even sprinkle the herbs around it. You can maybe put everything in a little bag, you know, in a jar. You can carry those, hang them, keep it nearby. You can gift them. You can, again, the creativity is yours. Literally, there's many ways on what to do and how to perform spells. Highly, highly, highly suggest that you look up how to do like spells in general. I recommend Hoodoo Delish. I love her videos so much. I don't know her, by the way. I just really admire her work. Hearth Witch is extremely good when it comes to information. The Wanderlust, oh my god. Oh my god, I don't want to say the Wanderlust girl. That sounds mean. But let me forgetting her name. Olivia. Okay, you know, her. I don't know her either, but I really like her videos as well. Annie from The Green Witch. Love her videos as well. But you know, basically, I'm pretty sure you know them. Let's be realistic. You pretty much know them. I don't think you may be familiar with the Hoodoo Witch, but I think that watching her videos are going to be really helpful when it comes to inspiring you on how to actually perform your spells. Now, the last few things that I'm going to be telling you are pretty much things that I want you to keep in mind. That is that for the most part, when it comes to magic, witchcraft, the craft of the witch, it requires a lot of studying. It requires literally a lot of learning and self-studying. When it comes to learning, I highly, highly, highly recommend to realize that literally you're not as limited as you think that you are. You have, as we know, books. We have what did I write? We have podcasts. You will learn by watching videos. Now, I think that this is a little debatable. Now, personally, I believe that you can also learn by watching TV shows and movies. Now, that is because for the most part, even though we know, because we know better, that, you know, the media is literally for entertainment. Therefore, everything is going to be dramatized to get you hooked on what you're watching. The thing is that with what is happening, that can actually, as a matter of fact, spark inspiration for you to actually add something to your craft, such as, for example, personally, I never saw, okay, so I'm gonna be talking about the chilling adventures of Sabrina. Now, I remember that in the show, there was this one season, I don't remember the episode specifically, but I'm pretty sure that if you saw it, you would know. There's this episode where Sabrina, I think she's going through a heartbreak or something, I don't even know. Point is that she had 2 candles, right? She had named her name, and I think it was Harvey's or Nick's, I don't even know. She had the names written on the candles, and the candle was actually united by the thread. So it's 2 candles with 1 thread. Now, that was basically a cord cutting. You know, you're literally you guys have something that ties you together, but you're lighting that thing that connects you in order to cutting off the ties, the thing that connects you to both. Essentially, I never saw those types of candles ever, you know, before that episode or that season actually came out. But when the season actually came out, I noticed that people started to sell it. Now, mind you, I'm talking based upon my experiences and my observances. I could be hella wrong. I will be glad to admit that I was wrong if I actually was. And so what I'm trying to say here is that even though TV shows and movies and the media in general, be comic books, manga, whatever, you know, they're dramatized, it's entertainment, for the most part it's gonna be fake. Some of the stuff that do appear there can actually be used in your practice. The most important thing when it comes to being a witch, yes, learning, but it is putting it into practice. Like I said in the beginning, everybody is capable of being a witch, but when it comes to practicing, that is where the actual issue comes. Everybody has their own reason as to why they don't want to actually practice. That's okay, you know, that's valid. But if you want to become a witch and you want to pretty much stop being afraid of the things that are holding you back, you need to be able to literally put your foot down and say, I have what it takes. I'm not afraid. It takes courage. And with that, I think I'm gonna end it there. If you guys have any more tips, any more recommendations, things that you think would help you know, new witches actually, you know, start their craft, their journey, please let me know in the comment section below, because trust me, I want to make this video, or maybe overall my own like channel, this place where new people can actually learn, expand, you know, where they're actually able to pretty much be open and just be able to ask the questions that they think are just stupid or dumb questions, when in reality, I don't think no question is dumb, because my dude, we all start somewhere. Bro, I wanted to be a cat. we all start somewhere. And with that, I'm gonna actually end the video there. So if you guys liked the video, be sure to leave a like, comment, share, and subscribe. And by the way, please do, because my y'all not subscribed. And I thought, you know, remember, we have the connection. We know who he is, boo boo. We know who he is. Subscribe.